One. What's up, everybody? We're here for another edition of Spitting Fire episode number 3. Can you believe it? It's already been 3 episodes, Felix?
Not 3 already, huh?
Yeah. Also, we're waiting for Celsius. If you see this podcast, please call me. I'm looking for sponsorship. Right? Let's go.
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, guys. Today we have a special guest, Felix. This guy is shaking the solar world around. It was a pleasure of meeting him at one of your events. I think it was an empowerment event.
Yes.
In Chino. And I've been looking at him on social media, following him. We got invited to an event that he did not that long ago. Go heavy, guys. Make sure you guys go heavy. And I just been following this guy. I like what he represents. He's a family man. I mean, we have a lot in common. So I'm like, you know what? Let's bring him in as my next BMF. That's right. He is my next BMF. The one and only Mr. Jeffrey Pinzon. What's up, Jeffrey?
What's up, my man? Thank you, guys.
We're here on a Friday, bro. How's the Friday going for you?
Bless.
Oh,
By
man.
the way, man, thank you on this badass belt.
Oh, show it off, guys.
This is sick.
He is my BMF. I'm a big UFC
Love
fan,
it,
so
man.
you are my BMF for a Spitting Fire podcast.
This is going to my office right there. next to the
Absolutely,
butts.
man. Well, thank you so much for being here. So, Jeffrey, what we do here is we try to inspire, motivate, and help people right now that are going through a lot going on right now, especially in our business, right?
Absolutely.
We're in real estate. And we started this podcast to bring in individuals like you that I consider BMFs in the business to come and maybe give a message, pour on people that really need to hear and get inspired. You know, the last couple of days, I was going through a storm, and I had to go back. Sometimes we have to measure success going backwards, not forward. And I had to ask myself, like, damn, why do I feel this way? But everybody sees me successful, but I'm not feeling it. And I had to go back, and I just went back into my motivational books that I have, or content that I always have to study to be better and better. And I had to check myself. And I'm like, you know what? Why not bring that up today?
Right.
Because everybody thinks sometimes we're in the front of the cameras. We have all these followers. We're influencers. Everybody thinks that everything's perfect. And nothing's never perfect. But Jeffrey, why don't you tell my audience a little bit about you? And then we'll dive in deep and see how many nuggets we can get today on Spitting Fire from you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you once again for having me here. I'm 36 years young. I'm married to a beautiful wife, my wife Natalie. I have 3 beautiful kids. Grew up in the city of Southgate. I came to this country at the age of 4. So I learned a lot about my upbringing in high school, middle school. I learned how to sell.
Okay.
So back in middle school and high school, I used to be that kid that instead of carrying books in their backpacks, I carry candy, chips, clothes, you name it.
Damn, hustler, huh, Felix?
Hustling,
Damn.
And I saw it in my upbringing because of my parents. My mom, she used to sell clothes.
Okay.
So I will see her get clothes and then resell it. So that sparked an inspiration in me. I'm like, man, Mom, can I get some clothes and take it to school and see if I could sell it?
Damn.
I started like that, and I just fell in love with the process. I was fortunate that now I see it as a blessing. Before I would see it as a downfall that I didn't have papers.
Okay.
Because I couldn't get a 9-to-5.
Got it.
So it was a way of God getting me away from that environment, because a lot of my friends had a 9-to-5. And I used to always be complaining, like, man, if I had that opportunity of working, like, I'll be doing all this, blah, 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 like, making things happen.
Yeah.
But I never had that opportunity, so I had to work with what God gave me, right?
Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise, Felix.
Absolutely.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, you know, right? You're absolutely right. I think I was talking about that with a couple people, that sometimes God gives us gifts, but the gift is not for you. It's for somebody else.
Absolutely.
You're just a messenger.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to think about those things, right?
Yeah.
Like my gift, I already know my gift. My gift is to serve people. I've been serving people all my life, whether it was in the restaurant business, in the nightclub world. I just came from a place of service. I like making people happy. I'm a people pleaser.
Right.
And sometimes that can hurt you. But I know what my gift is, and that's your gift, right?
Yeah.
You like to be out there, you like to push the edge, and you're doing things that a lot of people are not doing, that come to this country undocumented. Yeah. They come here, they think money grows on trees, and everything's for free.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that you need to put in the work.
Absolutely.
If you don't put in the work, nothing's going to happen
Yeah.
for you.
And it's gonna be tough. That's part of the process. I think the tougher it gets, the more that you grow. When you see it at a different perspective, right? When you see it as a blessing rather than a setback, right?
Correct.
When you start looking at it and you start asking different questions to yourself, you get a different answer, a different outcome. So now I see it as a blessing, and you're right. Like that message wasn't for me; it was for somebody probably else. That now they can see it as, man, if this guy's making it happen, I could do it as well. Like no excuses. That's when you go heavy.
That's right. We're going to keep going heavy throughout this whole
That's
episode.
right.
So, Jeffrey, I have a question that my audience wanted me to ask you. Can you share some key strategies or principles that have contributed to today you being successful in the solar business?
In the solar, all around, in the solar business, I surround myself with people that were already in the business. I'm new to the business, 3 years in solar, but I learned from key people that were already making it happen, learned the right strategies, the way to present the product correctly. And I was very fortunate that I got trained the right way. A lot of people get trained incorrectly.
Correct.
And a lot of people get taken advantage because of it. So I was fortunate that I got trained correctly. And I've always said it that God will maneuver you and put you in places for you to grow.
That's
right?
true.
And he'll get you out of bad environments. Even when you're recruiting people, right?
Yeah.
You'll find people that they'll leave because they weren't supposed to be there.
Correct.
Because they're not in alignment with you. So God aligned me with a great person, and my life has changed in the last 3 years drastically. And that's all glory to him, because he's put me in places, situations where I could grow, I could get uncomfortable, and I could really unleash my power and be an example for other people, and now help other people get that out of them.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. Actually, Felix has a similar story.
Yeah.
You know, he was in termite. He was under the houses dealing with rats and spiders and insects.
Damn.
Then he, I believe, delivered a check or something to an agent.
No, I dropped off his for sale sign and posted.
He dropped off his for sale sign. I'm condensing his story.
Yeah.
The agent told him, hey, why aren't you in real estate? 23 years later, he owns a couple franchises and he's a broker, right, Felix?
Yeah.
So it's crazy, right?
The power of influence, right? And you being willing to accept and have that possibility. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
I mean-
what if? Right? That what if, and then you start putting in the work and you start falling in love with the process.
No, because it's funny, because when I met Jeffrey, Winces and Alex did that empowerment event. And
Yeah.
when he went up and said his story, I sat there and I literally was like tearing up.
Yeah.
Because his story, my story, is similar to his.
Yeah.
And what he's accomplished in the last 3 years with the solar company,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's awesome, Jeffrey, because I do know young guys
Yeah.
that are getting into solar.
Yeah.
And I've been to events where I see them struggling.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching this episode, reach out to Jeffrey. I'm sure he'll help you guys out. I think that's the problem with people now. They have an ego.
Right.
You know, when I got into real estate, just so you know, I only been in the business 3 years too.
Mm-hmm.
I quit 2 weeks prior to COVID hitting California. And I went all in. But before all that stuff happened, I was actually working for free behind the scenes,
Learning.
helping top agents, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't want people blowing them up, the business for free. I would go to the post office. I would lick stamps. I would bring them coffee. I would bring them burritos because we're by our burrito factory, not that far from the place. I was door knocking without scripts. I was doing whatever it takes to learn the business. This is way before I even got my license. And there's another thing that people don't know, Jeffrey. I failed my test 10 times before I even got my real estate license. But I was already putting in the work,
Yeah.
praying to God, like, just give me my license so that I don't have to hide. Because I was a secret agent.
Yeah.
I was at open houses, just I was a greeter at Hallmark, passing out cards, and I couldn't talk anything. Because don't do that, because if you say something, all that work that you've been putting in, they find out that you're doing real estate, they can suspend your license, and I didn't want to do that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm here now, and it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, 6 months ago, here's another thing that people didn't know. I've been driving from Santa Clarita to the Inland Empire for the last 6 months. And one of the things that my challenges was driving, bro.
Yeah.
I would have to wake up 2 hours before traffic coming down the 5 over there in Castaic, the trucks. And I will get to the office early, and then also leaving home. I couldn't leave too early because then I was stuck in traffic. So I leave the office at 7 and get home by 9 o'clock. I did that for 6 years. And Audible was my only friend. I was just hitting the books on Audible and traffic, just trying to educate myself because I wanted to make the best of my time.
Absolutely.
And now, 6 months ago, I was telling my partner Johnny, I said, bro, I need to be by the office. I'm driving myself crazy. And I told him, okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to see if this is really true. If you can think about it and you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. For this next 6 months, right, Felix? I said, I'm going to live by the office. I'm going to live in this type of house. I'm going to live in a gated community. Nothing's going to change for my girls. And honest to God, bro, I live in a house 2 times bigger than the house I had in a gated community, 6 minutes away from this office. And here I am on a Friday talking to you. And it's awesome.
Beautiful.
It's crazy. You know?
What people don't see is that you still had to put in the work.
Oh, they don't see that part.
You still had to do it, right? Faith without works is dead. You could wish and be wishful thinking, but you gotta go out there and work. I was listening on the way over here to a video of Eric Thomas, and he touches on that. He's like, man, we were all gifted with a lot of blessings.
Yeah,
it's our job to activate that gift.
Yeah,
right. Yep. Sometimes we die dormant with that gift in us. So I think that by us stepping up, we're being an example to other people. And again, you want to surround yourself with people that are playing a bigger game, like you guys. Like I love surrounding myself with people that are playing a big game because it gets me uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
it gets me like, man, what else can I do?
Correct.
What other area can I step up? Like I was mentioning to you guys earlier, like I just signed up for a men's physique competition.
Yeah,
that had always been in the back of my mind, but I will always self-sabotage myself. And we're really good at that, right? Until I stopped and I looked and I'm like, right, man, this is not serving. I'm getting older, right? Yeah. I need to do this now, right? Yes. How many people are not being impacted because I haven't done the work?
Correct.
So he shared a verse of the Bible that said, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hand, and poverty will come upon you like a bandit.
Damn.
Wow.
That's deep.
He's spitting fire, guys. Right. He's dropping deep, bombs.
Right? So you got to do the work. And when you're doing the work throughout the process, you're going to get tested.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I got tested a couple days ago.
You're going to get tested. You're going to get tested, and that's how you grow. And Miles Monroe said it. He's like, faith that hasn't been tested cannot be trusted.
It's so true. And you know, it's funny you say that. I have to stop you there. Because I was venting on Felix, right, Felix?
Yes.
I've never been that upset at myself because I allow myself to self-sabotage myself. And I was deep in my thoughts, bro. Yeah. I was like, what? I just moved over here. I'm supposed to be more successful. Yeah. I have no excuses to look at my wife and say, I only got 5 escrows open. I should have triple that. Because that's my goal. I have targets.
Yeah.
My targets don't change, but my goal does. Yeah. And me not hitting those targets, I was just mad. Right, Felix?
Yeah, you're right.
I had to talk to him and vent. I'm like, Felix, I don't know what I need to do, bro. But I need to be that phoenix and rise from these ashes because I'm burning. You know? So, yeah, but just by you saying those biblical verses, I'm like, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
You and the cameras cannot see it, guys, but I'm telling you, this guy's spitting fire right now. Yeah. So Jeffrey, what advice would you give someone or someone who's just starting out there in your industry and on our you know, common pitfalls that they're going to be facing in your industry?
Well, he's been doing it 3 years, right?
Yeah, I think you said it earlier. Like, surround yourself with someone that is already doing it and learn from them. Okay. That's how I learned. Prior to solar, I did home security. My identity was alarms.
Okay.
So I had to battle that as well.
Okay.
Like, I'm transitioning to a new business. People are gonna look at me like I'm unstable. Right,
yeah, like
I'm undisciplined. Like, oh, this guy is not following through. Yeah. So I had to have a heart-to-heart conversation with Jeffrey. It's like, F whatever everybody's saying. Fuck that. Yeah. Like, I gotta provide for my family. Yeah. So I gotta make it happen, and then you gotta find you gotta fall in love with whatever you're doing. Right. Yes. You gotta fall in love with it. There's gonna be days that you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
There's gonna be days, and if you haven't been tested like that, then you haven't been working as much because you're gonna be tested. There's gonna be times that you're gonna be like, should I throw in the towel? But then you get to that next level and you fall in love again with the process. You're like, man, I reached this goal. Where else can we go?
Yeah.
Right. So once surround yourself with the right people that are already doing it, that have success, and shadow everything that they're doing.
Absolutely.
Don't reinvent the wheel. And then as you learn that, then you start putting your own twist to it. Then you start adding your sauce to it, and you start making it unique. But in the beginning, man, there's blueprints out there. You just got to follow the right blueprint.
Yeah, no, we're in the building stages. You know, we had a call with Grant this morning, and it's funny that I keep hearing the same message that I needed to hear 3 days ago. These messages are coming, subliminal messages. And he's like, look, are you a consumer or are you a creator? What are you doing while you're working? Are you watching everybody else? Because remember, you need to be creating.
Yeah.
But there's only 2 rules when you create. Create stuff that's going to help people, and create stuff that's not going to harm anybody. If you follow those 2 rules, the universe will provide. And I was like, holy moly, like, why am I hearing this? Because, yeah, I'm in the building stages. I had to check myself. I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet. I have to enjoy the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, I do see myself in the Bahamas drinking that pina colada, but maybe not right now, Felix.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I see everybody else when I go on social media and I become the consumer, and it angers me because I'm busting my ass.
Oh, bro.
Right? You see it too?
You're speaking to the choir, man.
Okay.
I
So
will
we all
see
have
people,
those
I'm
thoughts?
like, man, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I've been putting in work. This guy's vacationing, living the life. But it's like, my time is not there yet.
Correct.
And I think that's when you got to check your ego. It's like, all right, you're where you're supposed to be.
Correct.
Right? There's something that you got to learn there in order to qualify to the next level, right?
I got checked real quick by the universe.
Yeah.
I got slapped back into reality. I got caught up on the Matrix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just crazy, you know, the journey, but I wouldn't change this for anything.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get to interview people like you, be surrounded like people like Felix, who's always positive, always giving back, doesn't worry about things go wrong. He's always very calm and collective. This man, you could bring him the worst news. He's like, okay, calm down. And I'm like, what?
I see it.
Like he snaps me out like, whoa. And me, I'm such a high D that if everything's not going right, everything's going crazy for me. And that's just something I was born with. I'm probably need more meditation or something like that. What do you think, Felix?
No, you're right. I just, like I said, I stay away from negativity. I just stay focused, stay in my lane, keep working.
That's a gift.
And that's it, right? Yeah.
That's a gift. That's patience. That's you knowing that there's something better coming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Jeffrey, how do you manage the pressure and stress of what's going on right now in our profession? You know,
I think again, the way that I manage my pressure right now, like when I'm stressed out, I hit the gym.
So the gym.
I hit the gym and I clear my mind, and that gets me back to ground zero. That's an area that I know that I could compete.
Okay.
Right.
I've been seeing those videos.
Yeah,
this guy's a beast on
and I push myself. Like every time I'm like, all right, I'm gonna beat you, Jeffrey. Like I'm gonna beat you. My goal is to beat your ass today.
I see that.
And then after I'm done, I'm like, heck yeah, beat your ass. All right, we gotta come back tomorrow stronger. Wow. And that's how I get out of my funk, right? One, like that, and then I trust the process. Like you're always got to be constantly working on yourself, reinventing yourself. Like my upbringing wasn't good, but I was fortunate that I saw that you have the power of reinventing yourself. That's a gift that God gave us, the power of choosing. So if you're going through a slump, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you're behind on your rent, I've been there, right? It's gonna be okay. You just have faith and put in the work. Sooner or later, something's gonna happen. You're gonna encounter somebody that's gonna open a door, and just surround yourself with good people, man. Working out it brings something different out of me. It really does, and especially because I was born with a small leg, so I use that to even push me even harder. Like today, I did legs. I killed my legs.
Wow. But
I told my coach, I'm like, kill my legs today. I'm like, we're going heavy on my legs. I don't care. He's like, all right. And he's like, all right, we're going to go. And that's how you do it, man. And when I get out of the workout, I'm like, heck yeah. I feel unstoppable. So now the problem that I had, I'm like, go handle that. If I handle this sick ass workout right now, I go handle this.
Hey, Jeffrey, somebody you say I have small legs. You said that, right? And I'm imagining you know, gravity works with you, not against you. So if you hit the floor, you're not gonna bounce that high. So as you're saying that, I'm like, that's just funny, bro. Right? But anyways, we never know where these questions are gonna go, right? Yeah. But Jeffrey, walk me through your day. What's one day that people don't get to see Jeffrey in his business and then Jeffrey at home? Walk me through that, and I'm just gonna close my eyes and envision that, because people don't get to see the bad, the ugly. Yeah. They only see Jeffrey in front of stages with some pretty cool people that I follow. But walk me through your day as a businessman out in the field. The way you wake up, all that, and then when you get home. Just walk me through that. You don't mind.
When I wake up, it depends. Sometimes I work out early in the morning. If I'm taking my kids to school, I'm working out early in the morning. Right now, they go back next week to school. But my wife has a lot to do when it comes to our family. Like, she holds it down at home. Like, she's really the rock of the house, and she allows me to go to work and perform, right? Help out my team. Now that we're growing a big team, like, now it's not about Jeffrey. It's about, like, how can I add value to them? How can I transform their lives? So I'm always looking for ways to elevate them, right? Correct. To add value to them, to raise their lid.
Correct.
Right? And at the same time, it's holding me accountable that I got to go out there and perform and lead from the front, right? There's going to be days that I'm not going to want to. Yeah. But I still got to go out there and perform and lead, because they're looking, they're watching. Correct. It's like our kids, right? Sometimes they don't do what we say we tell them to do. Mm-hmm. They're watching what we do in times of challenges and obstacles to see how we respond, right? Correct. How we show up. That's our team members, right? They're constantly looking at that. The same thing. Yeah. How is this person showing up in times that a deal cancels? Correct. Right? Somebody says, I want to think about it. Yeah. Somebody hasn't made a sale in over a week or over a month. How do you deal with that? So you gotta be present there. My wife allows me to be present because she's taking care at home. Correct. Right? She's raising our kids. When I'm at home, I get to be with my kids. I get to be dad, and that's the best feeling, man. I see my son, like today in the morning when I was leaving the house after I worked out and I got home and I showered. I was looking at him sleep, and I'm like, man, like, thank you, God. Like, God is so merciful, man. Like, he really takes care of you, and you just gotta put in the work and trust the process. It might not come in the time that you wanted. Yeah. But it somehow, some way, you're gonna be able to impact people's lives.
Yeah. Sometimes we're looking for that instant gratification.
Oh yeah.
Like, because we see it, right? We see it. We see it, and we think like, oh, if I do this is gonna happen. Yeah. Or they call it, Felix, the shiny agent syndrome. Yeah. A new app comes out. Yeah. A new filter. Somebody came with the blue pill of dropping off letters. And then everybody changes their business. They go and do that because they went to a seminar and they heard this, and this. And then guess what? Now, like you said, their escrow just dropped. Yeah. The deal didn't close. They only had one deal instead of having 10 deals in the pipeline. And Felix will tell you that. Felix, what have we been going through the last couple of weeks?
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy stuff going on.
It's just one of those things where you don't want to put your eggs in one basket right now. Yeah. And it's just crazy, Jeffrey, as I'm listening to you. I was imagining my daughter sleeping. Yeah. It's so funny because I work out at a gym across the street, and I get home and then I watch everybody sleeping.
Same here.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm just staring at them. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. I get to do this. Yeah. But you know, one thing, like you said, is like we have to sometimes take care of ourselves, right? Yeah. Sometimes we're so worried about everybody else, but we forget about ourselves. And it's a good reminder, like you said, it's a good refresher to have these conversations. And, you know, play this back. I'm playing all my episodes right now. You're episode number 3. Yeah. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to build a library and share it with everybody because somebody needs to hear these messages.
Absolutely.
I just think people are afraid to ask. Yeah. What's the worst that can happen if I was to say, Jeffrey, can you make it? And you say no. Yeah. No for me means next opportunity.
That's it.
Or no, not right now. You caught me at a bad time.
Yeah, that's it.
But Jeffrey, here's another question. What qualities or skills do you believe are essential for being successful right now?
Communication.
Communication. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you think people should have mentorship too?
Oh, 100%. I've been having a coach for the last 7-8 years. Like, wow. The coach is going to allow you to see your blind spots. But you got to have the right coach.
Okay.
A coach that's gonna call you out on your bullshit, but at the same time lift you up, right?
Oh.
Because there's a lot of people out there that are not calling people out, and
Yeah.
you need that.
He needs to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, you have to.
gotta be
You
honest.
have to, because you wanna make sure that you grow and you don't stay at that level. And if you're not getting the result, then again, you need something else that is gonna fire you up. And I think for myself, right, in my fitness, I've always self-sabotaged myself because I always want to come from a comeback.
Okay.
And now I'm seeing it. That's a bad way of coming, because you gotta hit the lowest level for you to now bounce back.
Got it.
A lot of people operate like that. I used to operate like that a lot.
Okay.
Until I started changing my thoughts, and I'm like, no, I don't need to hit rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed that I now don't have that. I don't need to do it.
Correct.
Right? And you don't need to if you really choose to. Like a lot of people, if I hit rock bottom, then that's when I'm gonna bounce back. That's when I'm gonna get uncomfortable, and that's not a good feeling when you're there.
No, dude.
That's not a good feeling.
We call it the dead zone, bro.
Yeah.
It's dead there.
So you gotta start lifting yourself up constantly, and that's a battle that I had and I'm still dealing with, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you always want to get, you don't want to get comfortable, right? We all have heaters and we all have coolers in our lives.
Correct.
My coach calls it, we all have a financial temperature and we all have a habit temperature. Financial temperature, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Say the most money that you've made a month was $10,000.
Yes.
Right? $10,000. Cool. Next month you come and you make $20,000. Your temperature is 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Next month you come and you hit 20,000.
Correct.
You surpass your temperature.
Yeah.
By default, if you don't have the right mindset, next month
You're gonna
gonna
cool
make
off?
nothing.
Oh.
Right?
to zero.
And then that's when the heaters kick in and you come back to 10,000 the following month. That's why people's income doesn't grow exponentially.
Mhm.
It grows incremental
Got it.
because their financial temperature is going at a low level.
Got it.
Yeah.
That happened to me a lot. And my coach would tell me and I wouldn't want to listen. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Financial temperature, that's stupid. Until I'm like, damn, man, that's so damn true. The moment that I started growing my income and I'm like, okay, how can I add more value? I started growing.
Got it.
There's levels. There's a new level now.
Yeah.
Right? People that are making 100,000, that's their cooler.
Yeah.
There's people that are making $1 million a month.
Damn.
That's their cooler.
Yeah.
Right? If they make 500,000, they go back to the heater and then boom, they get a fire under their ass.
Got it.
That's why you gotta. It's like hitting rock bottom. And then it pushes you, and you just gotta learn how to deal with it. Your habits too.
Yeah, man. I guess I was on fire, right? I was spitting fire. I was spitting fire 3 days ago. My temperature went up, bro. I was like, God damn, I don't like it. And I had to kick it back in, like you said. I had to get cool off. But Jeffrey, I do want to tell people a little bit about your business, what you do, because it's a new upcoming business where people are not educated when it comes to solar, right?
Correct.
So now that you're here, I want to make sure people get something out of your business. So if anybody who's watching the show that's thinking about getting it or is thinking about getting in the business, what things are they going to come up with? So what is one of the primary environmental benefits of using solar energy right now?
It's good. It's good for the carbon fiber print. Customers save right away. So now is even easier than a couple years ago. Like now you could go from literally changing utility companies.
Okay.
Instead of you paying LADWP, SCE, Edison, you pay another company a lower amount.
Okay.
With no debt involved. It's fully transferable to the next homeowner.
Okay.
And it's really helping you protect yourself against inflation, right? Because rates are continually going up.
Yes.
Every year, especially next year, they're going to be going up an average of 6% a month.
Wow.
So it's going to increase tremendously, like what happened last year with gas.
Yes.
It went up drastically.
Yeah.
What do? Nothing. We got to pay that bill. We can't complain. Before with power, right? With electricity, you didn't have an option.
Correct.
Now with solar, you have options that it's just doing it right? Because there's a lot of companies that are misleading homeowners and it's not done correctly.
Correct.
So you gotta know the good, the bad, but more importantly, the ugly side of solar, how ugly it could get when things are not done correctly. And that's what our mission statement from our company is, making sure that the customer, by the time they sit down with us, we finish everything, they know exactly what they're going to need, whether they do business with us or not. We want to leave them better.
Do you recommend, as a solar owner do you recommend leasing, owning the solar?
That's such a great question, Leo. Felix, if you would have asked me that last year, I would have told you purchase.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the interest rate were very low,
Okay.
right? We had interest rate at 0.49. Bank fees were very low. You were able to finance a system at a lower amount, at a more affordable price. Now, it doesn't make sense for you to purchase because bank rates are through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rates are high. And now you got to finance an average system of $50,000 to $70,000.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So now the best way is what is called a PPA, which is a power purchase agreement. All we're doing is swapping utilities. Instead of you paying, for example, I'll give you an example, average kilowatt hour price right now, it's about 40 cents a kilowatt hour.
Okay.
Instead of you paying 40 cents a kilowatt hour, now you're going to be paying 20. Right? That's the benefit now of solar. Then now you have the ability of having a system producing electricity for you. You not owning that system, not having any of the liability, and being able to get electricity at a lower amount and having a payment that you know exactly if it increases, how much it does it increase, or knowing that you could have a fixed payment for the next 25 years. That's the benefit. And we have great programs that now homeowners, for example, if they need a new roof, if they need HVAC, windows, stuff like that, we go add that to our program if they qualify for
Electrical panels also, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
And let's just say they needed $15,000 for a roof, example, right? Instead of them going out there and getting a loan for those $15,000, paying interest, having that debt reported on their credit, right? With this program, they can incorporate that into the system. They get the $15,000 to pay off that roof. Now they have a brand new roof, added value to the property,
Wow.
and no debt reported on their credit.
Damn, did you guys hear that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow. So
that's game changer.
And people are not educated.
Exactly.
Because everybody thinks like, Felix drives a Tesla.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like, yeah, I'm a car guy. I need to hear that engine rev. But now he smiles every time.
He likes the speed.
Yeah. And we're at the gas station and he's smiling, driving by like, bye guys.
I haven't put gas in a year, so
How does that feel, Felix, not to put gas?
feels good.
Yeah.
No, but I like the solar. I have solar.
Yeah.
I had to assume the lease.
Yeah.
From the previous owner. So I've been getting my wife gave me the electrical bill and it was like $4,000
Okay,
for
because
the whole year, and I have I think 17 solar panels, but I had to assume the lease, and you have to be stuck with that lease right till the end of the 20-year term.
correct, yeah. So if it's a 20-year, you'll just take over. So let's just say that you're buying the property. I have 10 years already with the system. All you're taking over is just that monthly payment. So now instead of starting again at year one,
Yeah.
if the agreement was 20 years, now you have 10 years left of that agreement.
And I don't have to put any like crazy down payment or nothing.
And you don't even have to qualify for it. Let's just say that you bought your house cash because you don't have a credit, right? You don't even have to qualify for it. As long as you're the new homeowner, it gets transferred. It's like swapping utility names. That's
Okay.
it.
And Jeffrey, what is the expanded lifespan of a solar panel?
Average 30 to 40 years.
And how do you maintain them? Because the ones at my house are dirty, and then I see my neighbors. Is there a company that goes out there and washes them? Because I've never seen that before.
Yeah, there is. So we could recommend a couple companies, and it's recommended depending on the area where you live. If there's a lot of dust, then at least 1 to twice a year.
One to twice a year.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, and I've been there 8 years.
Okay, yeah. Well, the rain supports you, bro. So if the rain is gonna wash them off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you're not getting enough rain or stuff like that, then it's recommended at least once or twice, depending on how much dust you get.
What
Your
about,
area.
like, for example, Felix, let's say he buys a house that has solar and he has an electrical car.
Correct.
Does he have to change anything? Does he have to contact somebody? How does that work? Is it the same wattage?
Same.
Same.
Yeah, like, well, if there were, like, just to say that he did buy the house and the house already came with the charger and everything already connected, then there's nothing. All he has to do is just plug in the car. If it doesn't have that, then we just gotta upgrade that, and that's pretty simple.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, it's good to know those things. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, is it true any house built 2007 and up now has to have solar?
2020.
2020.
January of 2020, any house built from the ground up has to have solar.
Any house.
Yeah.
Even an ADU, right?
Yeah, and from what from what I was told by other people, was that any ADU that is built from the ground up now, right here in Los Angeles, it doesn't have to have. It's not gonna have gas. Everything has to be electric.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
My buddy just did an ADU.
Yeah.
They in Baldwin Park, and they said that he had to get that solar panel.
Yeah. Now you have to get the solar panel to get it approved, and you gotta understand, like, now by 2035 they want every vehicle to be electric, right? The majority, 80 to 90% electric, right? So what does that mean? That means that your electricity is gonna go up, right? And the rates are gonna continue going up.
Correct.
Where I live, where I bought my house, I'm waiting to get solar on my property because I'm paying 65 cents a kilowatt hour.
Oh, wow.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
So when you go solar, I'm gonna drop that rate to like 20 cents.
Damn.
I'm gonna save so much money. I'm gonna be able to charge my car, be able to use the AC however I want, live comfortably, and knowing exactly what I'm gonna pay every single month.
Yeah, because our biggest worry, especially when your wife, you're the only provider, and they're at home, they're running that AC, bro.
All day.
And me coming from a house in Santa Cruz with no solar to coming to this house that has solar, my train of thought hasn't let go of that. I'm like, my friend, as a matter of fact, my friend is coming over on Saturday, Giovanni, to install my ceiling fans. Because this woman, I walk into my house, I feel like I'm walking into a fridge. It's always cold. It's like 70 degrees. I'm like, damn, lower that thing. But I get scared, but because I'm not educated when it comes to solar. And real quick, Jeffrey, before we go on, can you share a quick memorable story of in your business that reassures you that you're doing the right thing? It's not the money. You know, we have many stories, right, in the real estate world that we give that key to that homeowner, or sold that home to the homeowner because he has to leave somewhere or they're in a divorce. Sometimes that gratification comes to us. Can you share any quick story without saying any names?
My first customer.
Oh, your first customer?
I always talk about it because that's when I was in transitioning. When COVID hit, I had gotten licensed to do life insurance with PHP.
Okay.
And got licensed within 3 weeks, hit all the ranks, but I wasn't in love with selling the product.
Okay.
Right? I believe in the product, but it wasn't my thing, right? I didn't feel comfortable selling it. So solar was in the picture. I had a customer that kept calling me for a referral for somebody that does solar. So my partner now, Nestor, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, bro, I have this client. Can you help him out? I'm like, but I want to make sure that you help them out because I hear a lot of horrible stories from realtors, loan officers.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't want to get in that industry. Like, my reputation is going to be on the line, right? He's like, come with me to the appointment. Mind you, it was COVID. I was doing nothing at home. I'm like, I want to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So I go, I sit down with him. He does the presentation. I listen. And by the time he finished, we were able to help out the client. We get out of the house, and the first question that I ask him, I'm like, hey, bro, what's the catch? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, what's the catch? This was too good to be true. Like, this is a no-brainer. Why is not everybody going solar? I'm like, how are you going to screw the client? Like, because if you're going to screw the client,
You don't want that.
Yeah, I'm like, this is too good. He's like, no. He's like, everything that we said we're going to deliver, I'm like, I still don't buy it. So I continue following up with the client. The client was happy. They saved a ton of money. They referred us clients. That's when I got sold to the business. In June 30th, that's when I committed. I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in. I'm like, and I asked them, I'm like, well, why is all these people telling me that it's bad, that there's a lien on the home, they're adding it to their property taxes, all this nonsense? And he's like, well, because they're taking advantage of people. It's like, if you do solar the right way, people win. Everybody wins. The company wins, the client wins, the customer wins, everybody. So I'm like, okay, this is again, going back to it, I was very fortunate that God placed me with the right people.
Got it.
Right, and because of that, I was able to learn it the right way and not learn bad habits, and that's how we've been able to train our people now, and that's why they're getting success now. So that's what fuels me up now, and seeing their stories, helping out other clients, that fires me up. I'm like, man, they're helping this client. This client went from like $700 to like $300 now fixed, saving like $3,600 a year. Like, those are changes that goes a long way for families. They could do a lot more with that money.
Absolutely, you're right. So, Jeffrey, before we end the episode, What do you got going on? I know you're working on a couple events.
Yeah.
Go heavy, baby.
Go heavy
Let's go.
too. Go heavy too. It's gonna be January. We're still debating. It's either gonna be the 24th, or we might do it a 2-day event, which will be the 25th and 26th. We're still working on that. It's gonna be in Anaheim, so it's gonna be in Orange County, and we already have a few speakers lined up. I'm not gonna mention the names yet, but it's gonna be an epic one.
Yeah, don't say my name too loud, bro.
Those last speakers were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
What did you guys think of the event,
Inky
man?
Johnson, wow.
Dude,
Yeah.
we have it recorded. I still drop little reels here.
Like you guys go to a lot of events. You guys are always going to different events.
Yeah.
Like, what was your feedback on that event? Because that was my first one putting it together. Like, it was.
Well, we actually went.
You guys went deep, bro.
Yeah,
You guys
we-
went- I was like,
we rented a party
I
bus.
saw that.
Yeah, we wanted to make a
You guys
statement.
went heavy.
Yeah, we went heavy. We took the party bus. I'm like, Fila, let's go all in. Let's make some noise.
30 of us?
Yeah, about 30 of us.
30 of us went to your event. And
Yeah, the event was sick, bro. It was sick. I'm like, God damn it. I'm ready for the next one. Let's go heavy. So yeah, keep us posted. Let us know. We're definitely gonna support you.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and give out your handles so people can reach you? We'll go ahead and also put it on our
For sure.
on our website.
Jeffrey Pinzon. That's it. You can look me up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is the same handle. Jeffrey Pinzon on all of them.
You heard it from the man himself, guys.
Yeah.
So if you guys are thinking about getting solar, make sure you reach out to him. He's strongly supported and powered by us, Spitting Fire here in the city of Rancho. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Jeffrey, you ready? Felix, we ready?
yes, sir.
We're going to a secret location. We can't tell you guys where we're going to go have lunch, but trust me, you guys are going to love the spot. You ready?
Let's go, baby.
All right, let's go. Make sure
you.
you guys go heavy on Spitting Fire. Can't wait for the next podcast show in 2 weeks, episode number 4. Once again, Celsius, reach out to me because I'm going to be reaching out to you. Let's go.
Let's go.
Later.
Let's go.